Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm having so much trouble with my system right now, and I do not know what is going on. It's like struggling to do literally anything. I'm just hoping that I can. I'm hoping I can get it. I'm hoping we can get through this. For some reason, it's just like acting weird. Anyway, I was on the line earlier, and I didn't have sufficient time to prepare for the stream. So I'm not going to be able to do a full stream, I don't think. But I do want to... there are some things that I want to talk about that I found particularly interesting. So we're going to hit a few of these things. I think I have like 4 stories or something that I want to hit. And we'll go from there. First one is Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning from Congress. That's a big deal, and I have not seen much about it. Like, I haven't seen people talking about this very much, but it surprises me greatly. So let me just, yeah, that'll do. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Hang on, let me write down my timestamps so I don't forget. MTG starting at 0. All right. Marjorie Taylor Greene is resigning from Congress.
I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms.
I think it is so fascinating that she's giving up her seat now because she is being attacked by Donald Trump, of all people. She's been criticized and yelled at and all of that other stuff by the left since she started in politics. And now she can't take the heat when Donald Trump turns on her. I think that is really interesting. And of course, she turned on Donald Trump really over the Epstein files, which, you know, mad respect for her. I talked about this previously, that I don't like her and I don't have any sympathy for her and I don't intend to support her and I don't want her on my side. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but I do want to talk a bit about Marjorie Taylor Greene. So let's listen to the rest of her video saying she's resigning from Congress because of Donald Trump. This is one of those tweets from Trump. Marjorie Taylor Greene is a disgrace to our great Republican Party. Like, oh my God, it is getting hot in this kitchen.
And in turn, be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better.
That is so fascinating. Like, seriously, you didn't know he was in the Epstein files, Marjorie? You didn't know this? You know, there's a lot of stuff coming out right now about a girl named Katie Johnson. Are you familiar with this?
Not really, no.
Okay. Katie Johnson is a girl who accused Donald Trump, before he was president, of forcing her and another girl to engage in a lesbian act.
Oh, I do know this, yeah.
For his enjoyment. And I believe it was arranged by Jeffrey Epstein. And it was discussed in the most recent document dump in the Jeffrey Epstein files or whatever. She sued him in 2016 before he was president. I'm not exactly sure what, but the court documents outline everything that happened in great detail. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is just now turning on Donald Trump over the Epstein files? Are you kidding me? Why now of all times? Why did you pick this moment to take a stand against Donald Trump instead of 2016 is my question. Oh yeah, there's also this one. Let me get this one. Here. This is Michael Wolff, Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's personal biographer, has hundreds of hours in time spent like talking to them, asking them stories about their life and all of that other stuff. And we're going to get back to Marjorie Taylor Greene's resignation in a second, but I just want to make it clear that this information has been out for a very, very long time.
Senator Sheldon Whitehouse yesterday confronted the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, directly about the Epstein-Trump pictures. Had she seen them? Were they in the Trump files? She flatly refused to answer. I'm one of the people who has seen these pictures, so let me once again describe them. I have seen approximately a dozen pictures in snapshot or Polaroid form, each with Donald Trump and the girls who surrounded Jeffrey Epstein, who were at Jeffrey Epstein's house circa around 2000. This is in Epstein's backyard in Palm Beach, around the swimming pool.
So Jeffrey Epstein was a known human trafficker, and he was Trump's best friend all the way up to 2017. That is 10 years after Epstein got a charge for human trafficking or for something like statutory rape, maybe. I don't remember what the charge was in 2008. And Trump was friends with him all the way from the 90s, I think, clear through to 2017 when he went to Epstein's house for Thanksgiving as president.
And there are three that I specifically remember. Two with young girls, I don't know their ages, sitting in Trump's lap topless. And then a third with Trump standing up, and he has a stain on the front of his pants. And there are 4 or 5 of these girls, young women, girls, laughing and pointing at the stain.
There's a lot more to this video, but I'm not here to cover this. I covered it already. The point is that all of this stuff has existed for like years and years, like 10 years we've known about almost all of this. There are no new big revelations about Trump's involvement. The flight logs leaked to Gawker, TMZ, something like that, years and years and years ago. And she's just now, I mean, she got her start because of Pizzagate. Remember Pizzagate, where Hillary Clinton's emails were like released by a Russian hack, and they saw Anthony Podesta like inviting somebody to get cheese pizza with him somewhere, and they turned it into this conspiracy where he was human trafficking. Remember that? That's how she got her start. And we have Epstein files, actual Epstein emails releasing, talking about Donald Trump raping 13-year-old girls. And they're like, what? I have no idea what's going on. You're missing the context, you see. Really. I'm sorry, I have no sympathy for this person. None. You knew who he was.
If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never, ever relate to real Americans, then many common Americans have been cast aside and replaced as well. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played.
That's a big deal that she's saying that, because she was a QAnoner not so long ago, and they believed that the storm was coming. They believed the storm would be here any 5 minutes now, and it was going to, take out all the corruption in Washington. And here we are.
Also, she said, and there's no 4D chess being played. A lot of MAGA will claim, oh, you guys are playing checkers. Trump is playing chess. He's 15 steps ahead of you. He knows what he's doing. This is her actively going against Trump and MAGA and I think she was trying to convince MAGA to be on her side here.
This is overtly turning against QAnon. Yeah.
When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead.
So she says she is leaving Congress, but she wants to come back after Trump is gone. That's what I'm reading.
It's interesting that she is only recognizing some of this, at least outwardly, now. Now that Trump has gone against her, now that everything's, going wrong, now she's recognizing that the entire country is split apart. Now she's recognizing that Trump is evil. Now she's recognizing all of the damage that has been done, now that it's hurt her.
Yep. And she was a direct participant and a catalyst for most of that damage, so.
I'll be resigning from office, with my last day being January 5th, 2026, and I look forward to seeing many of you again sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America.
I heard, I don't know if this is true, but I believe that she's resigning at a time that means that she does not get her pension that comes with Congress or whatever, which she doesn't need it. She's a millionaire. Her family owned a construction business that she inherited, and she's already filthy rich, so it's irrelevant. But, it's interesting that she's ready to drop everything because she's being attacked by Donald Trump. I think that's really interesting. So let's talk a bit more about her. Again, I did another episode on her where I covered that Michael Wolff story and everything, so I'm not going to cover the same stuff twice, but let's talk about more videos of Marjorie Taylor Greene. This one is a classic. In the last one, I talked about her claiming that anti-vaxxers were being treated like Jews in the Holocaust and how she had to apologize for that. And this one is her going against evolution hard with Steve Bannon. By the way, another name that's on the Epstein list. Steve Bannon. Just want to put that one out there.
Dr. Anthony Fauci needs to get a lawyer because he is liable. I believe he's liable, criminally liable, for what has happened with COVID-19. That's why I wrote the Fauci Act and introduced it back in early April.
What do you mean criminally liable? That's where you're into a whole different category. Why do you say that about Dr. Tony Fauci? He's the Biden promoted him to chief medical advisor to the president. He's lauded as Saint Tony Fauci on TV.
He is? Saint Tony? I've never heard anybody call him Saint Tony Fauci. He is one of the most competent and knowledgeable human beings on planet Earth in this field of study. He was one of the best people to be in that position at that moment. I wonder if she realizes at this moment that she's talking to somebody who took advantage of children with Jeffrey Epstein. I wonder if she realized that.
I think she probably knew. I think she probably knew a lot more than she cared to or will ever admit, because I think admitting any of it will get her into huge trouble. But she is famous and she is rich, and a lot of famous and rich people were very aware.
Well, I'll tell you this, what I find interesting. A lot of the Epstein files were gathered by the FBI in like his, for his case or whatever. I think it was a federal case. He was in a federal prison, if I'm not mistaken. And the FBI had all of that stuff. And on occasion, the FBI, which is part of the executive branch, will give those documents or parts of documents over to Congress for oversight or whatever. But they control the flow completely. However, the most recent document dump came from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. It was his emails. And it was given to Congress because Congress subpoenaed his estate for those emails after, right at the end of Biden's term or at the beginning of Trump's, I don't remember which. They subpoenaed the the estate for those documents, and they got them. And that was Congress. It's not in the hands of the FBI to pick and choose what they give to Congress. Congress now has it. And that's the moment when Marjorie Taylor Greene turned on Donald Trump, when those documents made their way from his estate to Congress. So maybe she saw what's in those documents, which we will hopefully get to see soon, and realized that Trump is a monster. That's very possible. Anyway, let's continue with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Epstein client member Steve Bannon.
Every day. Why do you say you're just not for firing him? You're for bringing criminal. You think he ought to face criminal charges?
Well, my Fire Fauci Act asked for a full investigation because we've suspected all along that he is criminally liable. Here's why. If you go back, you can go back to 2012, you can go back to 2014, where Anthony Fauci was using American tax dollars and sending it to the Wuhan lab to fund this research that was creating viruses.
Oh my God. This is a clear example of somebody just not understanding how science works, like literally at all. The Wuhan virology lab existed there because there was a species of bat that carries a coronavirus, a type of virus that's very similar to, COVID. Or actually, that's very similar to other coronaviruses that are around. And they built the lab there so that they could study the virus to try to prepare for the possibility of a pandemic. That's like the entire job of the NIH, is to go where viruses are most prevalent and most likely to spill over to humanity and try to build defenses against it for us. So they build a lab. I think China built a lab there, and the NIH was funding and working with them to try to study this coronavirus. And they spin up this whole conspiracy theory that it was leaked from a lab incorrectly. That did not happen. There's no evidence that it leaked from a lab. And they're like, oh, look, they were manufacturing it. And there's proof because it's set up there. There was a lab there. That's not proof they manufactured it. But part of virology, part of virus research is encouraging it to grow in a certain direction so that we can get an idea of how to stop it if it mutates and evolves in a certain way, obviously. But she doesn't, that nuance, that knowledge, that information doesn't penetrate that thick skull, I guess. And trust me, she's no different now than she was before. She's not. She still doesn't accept evolution as a fact that it is. She still doesn't like Anthony Fauci. It's just that she turned on Trump over a single issue. That's it.
Why is there any need to create a virus that can spread rapidly through a population, make people sick and kill them? That's a bioweapon.
Yeah, if it were designed to hurt people, absolutely. They were studying it to help people, obviously. Jesus Christ, dude.
So we need to be very clear about what was the intent of COVID-19 and these viruses that they experiment with, like some sort of Dr. Frankenstein experiments. These are bioweapons. There's no other reason to create a virus that makes people sick, spreads so quick, and kills people. There's no other intent, but it's a bioweapon. And then our American...
There's no other intent other than maybe they were studying it to create protections. And look how fast we got a vaccine out for it, too. You think we would have been able to do that if we hadn't studied the coronaviruses in the region? Of course not.
You don't buy. Hold on. Hang on. You don't buy the argument.
Dude, I can't stand the way he talks, where he keeps repeating. You don't buy. Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Hang on. You don't buy the argument that say, hey, the gain of function is all because we got to take these viruses and we got to power them up to look for vaccines and to look for other solutions.
That is exactly how it works.
In case somehow they come up with this. You don't buy the logic of that. Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't buy it because
I don't give a shit if you buy it. That's how science works. My God, they are so stupid.
She doesn't believe in science either, to be entirely fair with that.
That's true.
I buy it because I don't believe in evolution. I don't believe in that type of so-called science. I don't believe in evolution. I believe in God.
Well, first of all, evolution is something you accept, not something you believe in. And second, you can believe in God and also accept evolution simultaneously. She is a young Earth creationist. That is wild. Seriously, I've been saying this for a while. I'm going to say it again. Young Earth creationism is equally as insane as flat eartherism. It absolutely is.
She put the word science in air quotes too.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Believe in God. And there's these viruses were not making people sick until they created them and made them into weaponize these viruses to be able to attach to our cells.
Well, how do you think they did that, Marge? How did they manage to do that? By gain of function research, which validates evolution. Are you serious?
Did she just say these viruses weren't making anyone sick until they were strong enough to make people sick?
Yeah.
Is that what she just told us?
Oh, it's so stupid, dude. Oh my God.
Make us sick. This has caused so many people to die all over the world. This is a bioweapon. People can call it whatever they can for research and to create, vaccinations, but there's no need for a vaccine if the virus doesn't make the human population sick to begin with.
Well, obviously there was a need because the virus was not leaked from the lab.
Even then, she said people all over the world are dying because of it. If people all over the world are dying, regardless of whether or not it was man-made and leaked from a lab and whatever else you believe, a vaccine is needed to stop all of the harm that's being caused. I know that she was anti-vax. You can tell by everything that she says.
She was.
That's completely insane. If you, whether or not it was created by someone as a bioweapon, the vaccine, what's the word? The vaccine did help people, and that was obvious. You can't deny that. So I don't understand what her point or goal here was.
You say you can't deny that, but they absolutely do.
Yeah.
Let me show you just one clip. I think you've seen this clip before. I'm going to show it again just for the audience either
Objectively.
way.
I don't want
Dad trying to buy me off from getting the vaccine.
Notice the dad's voice here when he speaks. He's actually crying.
I don't want money though.
I know you don't, but I don't know what else to do.
You didn't do this to Michael and Kelsey. They already got it.
Don't you think I know that? Don't you think I know that? Why do you think I'm fucking crazy? Your mother got it. Why do you think I'm fucking crazy? My family is gone. My family is gone. By the end of this flu season, most of you will be dead. What the fuck do you expect me to be?
2021, by the way.
I wish I knew what that guy is thinking now. How he, when he realized that his family is still alive.
Usually I find that they don't realize and they just forget that they made the claim in the first place and they move on to new, more absurd claims.
I want to make sure I understand this. You're opposed to the gain of function which power up these viruses that are found in nature.
You mean evolve. Why are you saying power up? You mean evolve.
I want to make sure I understand that. Correct?
Yes, that is exactly right. I'm not opposed to research. Of course, we need to research viruses, but I am opposed to creating viruses, and that's what they did.
How do you think we research viruses?
Created a virus, and this virus clearly escaped the Wuhan lab and killed people.
That's just a lie. That's not true. That is not what happened. Despite the Young Turks claiming that it is and all these other ridiculous groups, that is not how it happened. Anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene is completely shameless and disgusting and vile, and I'm sorry, man. I'm so glad that she's working against Trump on the Epstein stuff. I'm so glad to see that. But she can sit in her little corner and do that, and I'll sit in my corner and do what I'm doing. I don't want to work with anybody as vile and disgusting as her. Tell me what you think in the comments. If she flipped her views and she walked away from neo-Nazi ideology and young earth creationism, then I would absolutely invite her into the party. all is forgiven. Let's move forward and work together. 100%. But she hasn't. She's still a neo-Nazi. She's still a young Earth creationist. I can't abide by that. I'm sorry. I just can't. Tell me your thoughts. Okay. Done with MTG.
Remember how you made that case for Trump being gay?
Me?
Yeah. You have more clips to prove that now.
I do, I suppose, don't I? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
We should do an updated version eventually. Because I didn't get to do it and I really wanted to do that one.
I would have to prep for it.
Yeah, not tonight.
Yeah, maybe.
I can't with Kat Kerr's hair. Kat Kerr.
Hey, her hair is good. Don't talk smack about her hair.
I love hair dye. I have dyed hair right now. I've split dyed bangs. Her hair, I just can't. It looks like a wig.
It's top tier.
I don't know how she even managed that. It looks like a cheap wig that I'd buy at Party City. Is Party City still around?
I have no idea.
I think it shut down. Anyways, point is, she looks so stupid and it really is not a good look for her. But God told her she had to dye her hair pink.
Let me find the right video. Hold on.
So, how are we? It seems like every mansion.
I'm looking for the. Wait.
God told me to dye my hair purple. I think you have to get me more hair dye.
I'm just looking for the.
I can just tell at this moment when worship.
So
I'm gonna add hair dye to my Christmas list.
This is Kat Kerr.
Here it is. This is what I was looking for. Okay. Open.
Marge is just fleeing a sinking ship. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
But she's fleeing it too late. The ship is down. The ship is underwater, and she is like trying to crawl onto a lifeboat that doesn't exist. Not.
And she's finding now that she's, in bad shape.
Party City does still exist? I thought that they shut down. That's crazy.
Okay.
She looks like a troll from the Trolls movie. Kat Kerr? Yeah, she looks like a Poppy.
All right, check this out. This is Kat Kerr. If you don't know her, buckle up. I'll explain. She's a prophet of God and a prophet of Trump. And she's always making proclamations, prophecies, and declaration on Trump and God's behalf. Listen to this latest prophecy or whatever that she laid down for Trump.
And I sit as the high judge.
When she talks like this, it means she's speaking with God's voice.
And I sit as the high judge. No one can impeach me. And no one will be able to impeach Trump. I have appointed him, anointed him. He is my president.
Did she just, the girl on the left, Kelsey, did she just say, hell yeah? That's what it sounded like she said. One more time. She
Look at her.
Hell yeah.
She looks so uncomfortable.
I have appointed him.
Hell yeah.
I heard, oh yeah.
I heard hell yeah.
I heard,
that is canon in my mind.
Canon? Okay.
Yes.
New lore
I
just
have
dropped.
appointed him, anointed him. He is my president for America and will be so until I am finished with his assignment.
Until I'm finished.
What's his
with
assignment? She looks so uncomfortable. Kelsey, she's just, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
His assignment is fixing the United States on God's behalf, I guess.
Someone said, I don't think God stutters like that. I don't know. According to Kat Kerr, he does.
She's got to adjust her Wi-Fi thing. Her tinfoil hat needs to be adjusted a little bit to receive the signal better, you see.
Anyone who tries to take his life will lose their life.
Okay, well, that's not strictly true because this one guy tried to come at Trump and he's fine.
For he has our protection. He has said yes to everything I have asked for.
Donald Trump said yes to everything I've asked for, or God said yes to everything Kat Kerr asked for?
I think it was Trump said yes. Kelsey looks like she's witnessing someone going through a psychosis, like a dementia episode, and she just has to sit there and agree for fear of like making the patient that she's speaking to harm themselves.
It's even worse than that. She actually believes what Kat Kerr is saying.
Have you seen... Really?
Yes, 100%. Yes, she believes her.
Does she believe that this is God talking through Kat? That
absolutely.
Have you seen I don't know if anyone has seen this, but there are videos of like people speaking to dementia patients, and a dementia patient will like call the mom, for example, and they just have to sit there and agree because otherwise the patient gets really upset and might harm themselves or others.
You're in the psychology class. You learn it there, I guess.
No, I've just seen stuff like that, but yeah.
Interesting.
We're gonna talk about that eventually.
Pretty disturbing stuff.
But yeah,
you know,
that's
dementia is, but that is like what's happening.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
what this looks like. She's just sitting there and agreeing. I find it hard to believe that anyone thinks Kat Kerr is being genuine here. Does Kat Kerr think she's being genuine?
Yes.
I think she has religious psychosis.
She's very famous and well known and influential. Kat Kerr is, and believed by a lot of people. She writes the curriculums for Christian private schools. Kat Kerr
Really?
does. Yeah. She's way bigger than me, way more influential by far, like by a factor of 2 or 3.
Apparently demons don't have ears.
Right?
But yeah, no, I think that she's going through religious psychosis.
From the time he was sent from heaven, that was his assignment. And you may not like him.
Trump, I guess.
Yeah.
Not only do we love him for the honor he has given to the country that we love,
For the honor he's given to the country.
but he makes us laugh.
Like a
And
yeah,
Okay.
like a clown. Yes, I find him funny, not like a comedian. Haha, you're so funny, but like a clown. Like you're an idiot that literally wears clown makeup.
I found it really funny when he copied Mamdani's outfit, but that's because he's so stupid, not because he's like the best person in the world.
And we have that on tap, so check that video. It's probably already released if you're seeing this one. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more about Kat Kerr, because she is nothing if not entertaining as hell, honestly. If you don't know who this is, like I said, she writes school curriculums for Christian private schools. She's a Trump prophet, and she's part of the Trump theology, believes that Trump is chosen by God to fulfill this blah, 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 whatever. Listen to this clip.
I have seen them hauling in the enemy, which are other demonic. I've seen them in chains being hauled away. Up to the court.
She's saying she literally has seen angels hauling away demons in chains, like physically seen it happen.
Of heaven.
Oh, she visits heaven a lot too.
Has no one like examined her? She's showing like really obvious signs of psychosis, maybe even schizophrenia, if she's like to be believed on this, if she genuinely thinks that this is happening.
I don't think that this is a case of mental illness. I think it's a case of genuine religious belief,
Which is,
that has been validated every step of the way.
I think at a certain point that is mental illness, because you can believe, you can have genuine religious belief, but Kat Kerr thinks that she is seeing angels hauling demons away, that she's going to heaven, and that God is speaking to her. And the moment you think that God is actually genuinely talking to or through you, that is a mental illness. You can think God is real, and you can think God is showing you signs around the world that he is here with you. But when you think God is speaking to or through you, that is an issue.
Mental illness is a chemical imbalance or an kind of an exceptional or unusual configuration of the brain or whatever. It's complicated to define it, but I believe that her brain state is normal. She's just been convinced and validated every step of the way that she really has been to heaven. It unfortunately, it's indistinguishable from mental illness sometimes. And I think this is one of those cases where it's impossible to tell, but she's not exhibiting signs of mental illness that you would expect outside of just the beliefs. Like, is this delusion? I think the delusion is a fixed false belief that is contrary to what others understand the world to be, or something like that. And this could fall into the delusion category if it weren't for the fact that her mind can be changed on some things, not on the broad important parts, but can be changed on some things, and it's not isolated to her and her only. So that complicates it. I don't think this is mental illness, actually. I think this is genuinely just validation, runaway validation.
All the way up to the courtroom of heaven. If I ever find that picture, you'll be the first people to get it.
She says she has a picture of demons being hauled away.
I'll show
What?
it.
What picture?
I have a picture of the demons in chains being hauled off.
What?
Oh my God.
Okay.
It's so stupid. God, it's making me cringe.
How did you get that picture?
I took it
Did
on
you?
the earth.
Were you in a meeting or where were you?
I was at my home.
So
When you command an army from heaven,
As
Sorry,
she does.
It seriously sounds like the girl on the left is talking to a dementia patient. Really?
Or a child.
What? Yeah, or a child. She goes, "Wow, how'd you get that picture? Wow."
Mm-hmm.
I
That's-
can't.
Yeah, it absolutely does sound like that.
from heaven, that's
That
what,
is
in 2017, that started happening. The scroll for the host was opened, and that was when we were allowed to be in the command.
I know you're thinking, wait, 2017, the Lord of Hosts, blah, 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 and the scroll opened, and so on and so forth. What happened in 2017 that could have changed things? Donald Trump was elected and took
He was
office
inaugurated, yeah.
in 2017. That's why she's saying that.
Hosts.
yes.
And I did, and I started with 100, and that's what the father came and taught me in person how to do this. There is a protocol. Number one, you got to live holy, people, because they're not going to listen to anybody who's lying, cheating,
Mhm.
stealing, going into evil or wickedness. That they won't not listen to you.
Yeah.
The one who walks righteously and who loves God, who obeys God. When you command the army, the more you send them, the more He sends you.
Mm,
Because the whole purpose for them is to come and fight on our behalf.
yeah.
And they're not going to go kill somebody because you don't like them. They're not going to do that. They fight spiritual battles against the demonic who are trying to attack you, or they do a lot of warfare on your
Yes.
behalf. And some in the beginning, when they call me the Pink King.
They call her the Pink King. Oh my God.
Not even the Pink Queen? Wow.
No, she's addressed this before. In heaven, there is no gender, basically. Everybody is either a king or a queen, and that's just what it is. Or, I'm sorry, everybody is a king, and that's just what it is.
I was
heaven.
about to make a joke about that. I was going to say she's beyond gender, but I guess she actually is.
Yeah, yeah.
Not because I call myself that, but the Bible says, "Know ye not." Jesus said, "Know ye not." This is the
Yes.
words of the Lord. That ye are kings, spiritual kings,
Amen.
and priests unto your God.
Okay, that doesn't sound familiar, but whatever.
Amen.
Those are levels of authority and dominion
Mm,
that you operate in because of your righteousness, because of your right living, because of you honoring God, honoring the word, honoring
Amen.
the blood, His blood.
Totally, absolutely.
I just realized that she has the exact same makeup style as Grandma. Grandma does
Oh,
the
yeah. Totally.
same eyeliner there. Although my grandma uses blue sparkly eyeliner.
This is probably my my introduction to Kat Kerr right here. She's a weather warrior. She still identifies as such. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I have.
She says there was a Hurricane Dorian, that was coming to run into Florida, I think. And as a weather warrior, endowed by God Almighty to control the weather, it was her responsibility on Earth to take her little stick and wave it at the hurricane and order it to not run into land. It did, by the way. It did absolutely untold amounts of damage. So this did literally nothing for anybody except make me laugh. But listen
It's
to
a
this.
pretty good thing it did.
Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
We take authority over Dorian that has no right off the coast of this state or anywhere. And we hit that storm to the east right now. And
I like her weather stick.
I'll do it 3 times. We hit it to the east. We hit it to the east and command it. You go to the east, out away from land. We declare you will do no destruction in any way. We won't tolerate it. So, Father, I thank you for this honor and privilege to be here on the little coast of Florida. And we say to that storm, your end is coming. We don't tolerate your presence. We won't tolerate you coming ashore anywhere or causing any harm, death, or destruction. We speak on behalf of those who've already been affected by it, God. We thank you for a rapid recovery and restoration for all of them right now. But we decree and declare, you, Dorian, your days and hours are numbered, and we bash you.
We bash you. I
She's
love
using
it.
witchcraft here, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah, 100%. It's witchcraft. Absolutely.
Isn't that like against God's wishes?
It's called Witches for Jesus. Have you heard of this?
Oh,
It's the
God.
name that I gave them. It's not how they identify. Witches for Jesus.
Someone said, why doesn't she keep the hair that God
Hang
gave
on.
her?
Wait a second. Read more. I'll tell you in a second. Or we'll read those in a second. I was going to say, Witches for Jesus. Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Witches for Jesus is not what they call themselves, but it's what I call them. And they basically believe they can do all the things that witches can do, but they get their power from God, where witches get their power from Satan. So it's based in the Bible verse where I think Aaron maybe was in a room with Pharaoh and his wise men, and he threw the staffs on the ground and they turned to snakes, and then Aaron threw his staff on the ground and it turned into a snake and gobbled up all the other snakes, which established the idea in these people's minds that God can perform witchcraft as well, but God's witchcraft is more powerful than Satan's witchcraft. So that's why I call them witches for Jesus. She's absolutely practicing witchcraft for Jesus. What were you saying? Okay. This is probably my favorite video from Kat Kerr right here. Oh, yeah. You said something about her hair. What was that? Because we're about to lead into something
fine.
about her hair.
No, it's fine.
Okay. All right, let's hit this one then. Kat Kerr, this is probably my favorite video from her. She explains what happens when you get to heaven and what kind of a relationship, wink, wink, you have with Jesus.
Of his love is so great, I don't even remember what I was going to say to him. So don't make your list. You won't care. Because you are in love with Jesus Christ. He is your bridegroom, whether you're male or female. Oh my.
Gay people exist in heaven. Gay and non-binary people. Everyone in heaven is agender and also in love with men and women.
Love it. Well, Jesus is very clearly a man, right? So all the men on planet Earth right now are going to consummate their relationship with Jesus. And you think I'm taking that a little far from what she's saying, right? Just keep listening.
So the women in the spirit can be spiritual kings. He is King of kings, female kings, and male kings. Lord of lords, male lords, female lords. We are priests unto our God, male and female. There's only one wedding in heaven, and we'll all be very happy we're going to it.
Polygamy.
He told me to share this one last thing.
He being God. God told her to share this.
A lot of people ask me all kinds of questions about what will your relationship be like, because you know what I'm talking about when I say when men and women live together.
What did I say? I said she believes that you're going to consummate the relationship. Men are going to consummate with Jesus, right? They're going to sleep with Jesus.
As husband and wife. Will that all go away? Well, the flesh part, absolutely yes. But
Because you won't have a body, of course. But
when we have our betrothal with Jesus Christ, spirit joins spirit into one. And it is the most powerful thing you'll ever experience in your life, ever. The two shall become one. They even say that at a ceremony. It says that husband and wife, the relation of a husband and wife, is a symbolic of Christ and his church or his bride.
so Jesus is going to get up on that, whether it's a man, like Jesus is going to get with all of the men all the Christian dudes that you know are going to get with Jesus. And then they will recognize the fact that Jesus does not hate gay people.
Okay.
Maybe it's going to take that.
So let me get this straight. Everyone in heaven, let me get this gay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what? Let you get this what exactly? Go on.
Everyone in heaven is agender. They don't have a gender. And everyone in heaven is gay. And everyone in heaven is polyamorous.
Yes, that's correct, according to Kat Kerr.
Heaven is sound and everyone in heaven dyes their hair. What I was gonna say earlier, someone said, why doesn't she just stick with the hair that God gave her? And why she dye it instead?
Good question. Let me answer it for you.
Of revealing heaven, and I have to tell you about this revelation.
This is from 2009, by the way, or 2008, April 08.
She's been dyeing her hair pink since 08.
Yep, since before that.
You know what? Heaven is the most fun place you'll ever live in your life. Did you ever think of that?
She reminds you of Grandma, right?
She really does. I think it's probably the makeup and the way that she talks so strongly about God and how God is good and she knows him personally.
This right here is going to be the thumbnail.
Most people, and including the world, think heaven is going to be so boring. They don't even want to go there. Most believers actually say, what in the world am I going to do for eternity? What is it going to do up there besides bowing to God and maybe singing some songs with the choirs in heaven?
Yeah, that sounds awful. My God, who would want to do that?
Sitting on a cloud with a harp. Guess what? You don't get a harp when you go to heaven unless you already play one.
What if I wanted a harp when I went to heaven, but I don't know how to play and I don't have the money to learn now?
She addresses that.
Okay.
Wait, what's wrong?
You know, maybe if you want one to decorate your mansion, you might give you one.
Okay.
But what are you going to do with it anyway? The reason my hair is pink, by the way, I forget that a lot. God himself asked me to have pink hair for the reason that you will know heaven is going to be a whole lot more different than we thought it was.
Anyway, there's your answer. You were wondering why God asked her to have an unnatural hair color because she wants everybody to think that she's fun. And wants everyone to think heaven will also be fun.
Should I ask Grandma if she knows who Kat Kerr is?
She won't, no. But you should show her a video of her because it may be looking in the mirror, you know.
Yeah, I think she would like Kat Kerr. But I think she'd think Kat Kerr is crazy and not recognize that they say the same thing.
Absolutely. Anyway, absolutely fascinating. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. I love it. Okay, cool. I'm actually gonna stop recording and then should I would like to.
She said, I don't know what you're going to do with the harp in heaven anyways. Like, play it, obviously.
Right?
What else am I going to do with a harp in heaven? Is my mansion going to be on a cloud? If my mansion's not on a cloud with a harp, I'm going to be very upset.
Your mansion is going to be the size of Manhattan, she says.
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that. That's kind of boring, though. Like, a giant...
Imagine trying to get to the bathroom. You'd have to take 3 trains and a bus to get to the bathroom.
Right.
That'd be awful. Right.
Imagine, like, I don't know, like, if it's just you there... I don't like being in Manhattan unless I'm hanging out with my friends all day. Imagine being completely alone in your mansion, or I guess you'd be with your giant polycule.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway.
How big is heaven for everyone to have a Manhattan-sized mansion?
Heaven is a sphere. It's spherical. It's a planet, she says. Seriously.
She's been on another planet?
Yep.
I mean,
she's been to heaven.
She does seem a little bit high.
Yeah. Anyway, she's a nutcase, but I love it.
Someone said only Manhattan. Yeah, I can't believe she should do all of New York City. But
actually,
no,
she
only
did say
Manhattan.
New York City. That was my editorializing. She said it was New York City.
Really?
Yeah.
Now you have to take 4 buses and a train.
Yeah. All right.
If it's heaven, shouldn't my mansion be as big as I want it to be? This is foolish. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, let me open.
Can we do Trump Mamdani?
Yeah, that's what I'm hitting now. 1 second here.
Coolsies.
To...
I think Trump might have a little bit of a one-sided crush again. I think his other crushes weren't one-sided generally, but I think this one's one-sided.
I'm just trying to drag them into...
Does heaven have tiny houses? I want a tiny house. No. Only a mansion.
You must have a mansion. Yes.
And it has to be the size of New York City.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to heck. Sorry. You can have a tiny house in heck, but you can't have anything else.
Right. Okay.
More like Midhattan. You have the humor of one of my friends. Someone said Manhattan, more like Midhattan. And it's like the exact same thing that one of my friends would have said.
That's funny. All right,
Think there'd only be one bathroom in that mansion? No, but I mean, there's basically only one bathroom in New York, so
That's true. There are like none. It's weird how few bathrooms there are.
not sure why I'd need a house in heaven, but all right. I mean, that's a pretty good point. I didn't think of that. I think it should just be me and my little harp on a little cloud against the world.
Okay, that works. Against the world known as heaven.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Manhattan. That's actually really funny.
Let me just order these. Okay. And where are my other Mamdani clips? I had others.
Yeah, wait, why would there be bathrooms in heaven in the first place? We don't need to pee. It's fine. Did you hear that they're all going crazy about the mayor changing the numbers in class? Yeah, the Arabic numerals thing, they're idiots.
I intend to cover that in a second. I'm just looking
Oh, there it is.
for my others. I'm missing a bunch of videos. Which
I
this
miss New
one? This
York.
one? Yes. I'm sorry. Let me just grab these videos real fast. I don't know why they're missing from my library.
I will speak while you do that, guys. I
Okay.
love New York so much. I want to go back. I'm going to move in. I'm going to move in with my friends, and I'm going to force them to let me stay. I've actually been to heaven, and, wait. I've actually been to heaven, and, only I can go to heaven because I'm super cool and stuff. Sorry, guys. You heard it here first. Only Wallfan can go to heaven, and we're all out of luck. Sorry about that, chat. Not even Kat Kerr can go to heaven now. Just him.
She's not going to be very happy about that.
I'm sure she'll understand when God tells her.
She's going to go to she's going to have to go to heck then.
Either heck or she's going to be in some in-between state. Does heaven come with purgatory. Does heaven come with blackjack and I don't think that'll let me say that.
Hookers?
Yes.
That's a Futurama reference. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah, I've watched Futurama.
Okay, let me just pull these up now.
She's in
Open.
Canada, you wouldn't know her. Wait, what?
That's funny. That's a reference to kids.
Well, I know
in
that,
school.
yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know who they're saying. Okay, anyways.
All right, here we go.
Kat can go to purgatory. Limbo. Yeah, she's going to go to limbo. Her limbo is going to be a train station. No one in chat's going to understand that reference. Not even you understand that.
I thought it was funny in its own right, so all right. Okay, let's talk about Mamdani. I'm specifically looking for the one where...
Told you guys PA sucked not to leave NYC. Should have read chat back then. Well, one, I wasn't here reading chat, and I'm the only one who reads chat.
Okay. Mamdani met with Donald Trump, and it was very unexpected. The outcome, I thought it was going to go poorly and that Trump was going to talk smack about him, but he came out the other side loving him. Like
loving him.
It's bizarre. It just kind of shows how easy it is to manipulate Donald Trump, right? Like, I mean, and I'm not even saying he was manipulating him. Maybe he genuinely tried to find a connection. But the point is that Donald Trump will love anybody who is nice to him. And it's like sad, honestly. You know those types of people who will just be obsessed with whoever just likes them a little bit. That's what happened. Listen to this.
I just want to congratulate. I think you're going to have hopefully a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I will say there's no difference in party. There's no difference in anything. And we're going to be helping him to make everybody's dream come true, having a strong and very safe New York. And congratulations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Please.
I appreciated the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers, the 8.5 million people who call our city their home, who are struggling to afford life in the most expensive city in the United States of America. We spoke about...
Anyway, it's so unexpected, dude. And actually, just an editing note, instead, I want to play... Hold on. Oh, wait, which is this?
To Stephen Nelson, he asked about your comment calling the president a fascist.
Yeah, I wanted to play this one. An editing note, put this one as the first video that I play, and then we can put the second one after this. This is Mamdani. This is how the meeting went after Mamdani and Trump talked privately.
To Stephen Nelson, he asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
That's okay. You can just say yes. Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
This dude literally was given a gotcha question by the media, like trying to create division on the spot. And instead of embracing the division, Donald Trump helped Mamdani answer the question to everyone's satisfaction. Like, what?
Trump not only said, yeah, like he does, he said, I don't mind, and then patted him on the back. Trump doesn't mind being called a fascist. I guess, like, he is affirming that now, but also, he's clearly on Mamdani's side at this point.
That is wild. So I get to thinking to myself, what caused this? How did this happen? And I'm going through clips, and I think I know. I think I found an answer. Let me find the right clip. Is this the one? Yes. This clip is very revealing. I'm sorry. I have to fix my coloring. I don't know what the hell is going on, but let me just try to... It's just a mess, and it's driving me nuts. I've got to decrease saturation. Color key. I don't know why, but everything keeps turning blue on me.
Apparently MAGA is very confused right now.
Okay, I guess that'll have to do for now. Anyway, this is the key right here. You wonder what Mamdani said? What point of agreement he found with Trump? Listen.
Are you going to allow those police to be replaced with police officers, actual cops? And are you going to require that that happens? Would there be some consequences?
Well, I hope.
So we're going to have to amp this up in post, like in editing or whatever. But the question is basically about Mamdani and the fears that he's going to get rid of half the NYPD because, you know, right-wing nutcases believe that he wants to abolish the police incorrectly. Nobody ever said that. Everybody said defund the police because they want to replace some police officers for some situations with social workers. We don't need society's representation of force to show up to a school where a kid just told them that, you know, they're being taken advantage of by like their uncle or something. That's not what the representation of force is there for, right? The representation of force is there to arrest the dad or the uncle or whatever. A social worker should be there talking to the kid, not force. So in those types of situations, we would want to replace social workers with cops. That's the policy. But the right has been claiming that we want to replace everybody with social workers or just get rid of the police completely. It's just delusion. Anyway, that's the policy they're discussing here.
It happens, but again, that's going to be ultimately the mayor's decision.
What's your answer?
Are you going to get rid of the police? That's going to be the mayor's decision. That is an incredibly bizarre thing to hear from Trump.
Is that I look forward to delivering public safety with the NYPD, and I've said over the course of our campaign that we have the number of police officers today. They are the ones that's budgeted about 35,000 headcount. And I think the key thing is that we have to make it easier for police to focus on police work, not ask them to respond to 200,000 mental health calls a year.
That's the point. They shouldn't be responding to mental health calls. That should be social workers, right? Why would the representation of force be responding to mental health calls? That's a progressive position that I hold.
Is that a reduction from what you're at right now? Are you committing to maintaining the same level of cops?
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain the 35,000. That's the headcount that we had through the campaign.
And not replace them with caseworkers, social workers?
No, I've said that's the headcount that we want. What we need to do is make sure they can focus on serious crime.
And he just retained a great police commissioner, I believe, right?
Yes, we did, Commissioner Fish.
If the newspapers are correct.
Sorry,
No, wait. Let it finish here.
And he just retained a great police commissioner, I believe, right?
Yes, we did, Commissioner Fish.
if the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
That's it. Right there. Did you catch that? That's what they bonded over. That is the common ground that they found with each other. One more time.
Which we did, Commissioner
If
Fish.
the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
That one they're correct about. Mamdani went in there and told Trump, this is all fake news. I'm not a bad person. I'm a fantastic politician. I'm a really nice guy. And I really like what you've done with blah, blah, blah. Pick anything, any single thing. And I hate how the media is so dishonest. That's what he did. And that was that little thing, that right there, that was my tip off to this.
We did, Commissioner Fish.
If the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
He retained, I think, somebody that is she's a good friend of some of the people in my family, of Ivanka, and they say she's really good, really competent, and he just retained her, so that's a good sign.
Anyway, I found that fascinating. Now we know. I wondered, like, what did he do? What did he go in there and sit down and say to Donald Trump? I think that was their point of agreement. This guy is so skilled, right? He's so skilled at what he does, at bringing people over to his side, at letting people, at getting people's guards down, at working with them, building bridges. He is an expert at that, and he's definitely the head of the Democratic Party. I'm sad he can't be president because he wasn't born here, but he is very impressive. Thoughts?
No thoughts. Can you go back a little bit on that video?
I just closed it, but yeah, I can pull it up again. Where did I put it? It was
That's fine.
Here.
I just wanted to pause at a specific moment and laugh at it.
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain
Go
the
forward
35
a little bit to where I paused a minute ago. Yeah, okay, like here.
I believe. Right?
Yes, which we did, Commissioner Fish.
If the newspapers are
So
right there. These are eyes of adoration.
look at how Trump is staring at Mamdani, and in a second, I was gonna pause again. Wait. So Mamdani like nods his head, and he turns away, and Trump was just staring at him. Mamdani, wait.
He retained that.
Here, I'll scan through slowly. He's smiling at him.
Okay. Wait.
Nods.
Yeah, right there. Wait. Forwards more. Right there. Trump is smiling and talking and laughing. Mamdani is straight-faced. Mind you, Mamdani has never been straight-faced throughout his entire campaign. The entire campaign has been built around him smiling, being happy, being caring, and, empathetic. This entire meeting, he was like, he looked so much more uncomfortable than we've seen him. He had a completely straight face. He was not as happy as usual. Meanwhile, Trump has been smiling nonstop, staring at him and, everything else. I think that that's really funny.
I'm telling you, Trump is very simple. At the end of the day, all you need to do is tell him that you like him, and he is all in.
I think that Trump has a crush.
In fact, he's not just all in. He's even willing to go so far as to start dressing like him. Hang on.
I love this too.
Let me find it. Is this it? Yes, here. This is it, right here.
I think it looks really bad on Trump because of the turtleneck. The turtleneck does not work on him.
This is recent for Donald Trump. And Mamdani was just like a month ago or something. Same exact outfit. That's interesting, right? I find that very interesting.
He had one meeting with Mamdani, and now, look, he doesn't even have his orange makeup on. He's dressing nicely. He's dressing the exact same as Mamdani, granted, but he's dressing nice.
Exact same shirt, exact same color, exact same blazer.
And he was respectful to people for once. So I think that Mamdani, whatever Mamdani did, was really, really good in the end. Someone said when your grandma goes Black Friday shopping.
Yeah. Honestly, and think about it, like Andrew Cuomo, said that you need to vote for him because he knows how to work with Donald Trump. That is fascinating.
Someone
right?
said hair is going to be dyed black next news cycle. He's going to have a mustache.
Oh, I want to see it so badly. Imagine Trump's like mustache. Looks so stupid.
I really want I need someone to edit Trump to like look like Mamdani. Instead of the orange makeup, he's going to slowly get more tan. Oh, this is what their children look like. This is what Trump does on a daily basis. He goes on to these face blending softwares, and his new crush of the month gets put in here with him. So this is what he's doing. Trump's is an overcoat, I think. I think Mamdani's was an overcoat, and Trump's is a, like, what's it called? Like a trench coat or whatever. Because Trump's buttons, Mamdani's didn't.
Let me see.
Maybe I'm getting this mixed up.
Let me find a picture of Mamdani and a picture of Trump and see if I can blend the faces.
Someone said when Trump grows up, he wants to be just like him. Wants to be just like Mamdani.
All right, save image. Hang on. There's more to this story that I want to cover, but first I just
This is too funny.
I want to give this face blending thing a shot and see. Is there an app for this, I wonder? Okay, I got the two images. Now let me just drag
There
and
are
drop.
certainly apps for this. When I was in like 3rd grade, I was blending mine and my crush's faces together. So they've existed for a while.
Let's see. Photor, never heard of it, but we'll see how it does.
Okay, I can find an app if needed.
Give it a shot. This may not work. Anyway, I just wanted to look at like some of the stuff that Trump said previously about Mamdani. It's finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. Zohran Mamdani, a 100% communist lunatic, has just won the Dem primary and is on his way to becoming mayor. We've had... Oh, I found it. I did it. I got it.
You found it?
Yeah, it's not ideal. Can you find another?
Sure. It's 99 cents.
All right, don't worry about it. I've got it done. This will work.
Found one.
Let me just... Hillary and Kim Jong-un face... There's a famous one. Hillary Clinton and Kim Jong-un face blend. Where is it? Here. I found it. Have you seen this?
No. Can you find the collage that Trump posted?
I'm not sure. You're going to have to find it and send it.
Okay, I'll find it. But yeah.
Okay, here we go. I got it. So face blending has been around for like many years, like since I was in college, I think. And this is probably the most famous one that I remember. Hillary Clinton face blended with Kim Jong-un. This is great. And now I've got a new one that I just created on some face blending website. What's his name? Trump Donnie. Or God, I don't know. Donald Mamdani. So help me out here.
Trump Donnie. Zodon.
Yes, Zodon Trump Donnie.
Zodon Trump Donnie.
I mean, it's not ideal, but there you go. This is what Trump would look like if he tried to look a little bit more like Mamdani. Anyway, so like I was saying, he's been coming at Mamdani hard until they kind of came together and it's now like they're best friends or whatever. He's just won the Dem primary on his way to becoming mayor. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible. His voice is grating. He's not very smart. He's got an AOC +3. I'm sorry, he's got AOC +3. I don't know what that means. Dummies all backing him, and even our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, is groveling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in the history of our country. Here's another tweet from, I'm sorry, not...
Truth Social post.
Yeah, a Truth Central post. God, I accidentally closed it. Give me a second to reopen it.
Well, I sent you on Discord the collage that Donnie Trump. I sent you the collage that Trump had posted. And I think that the collage is also really funny.
Okay. Here's another. The more people learn about Mamdani, the less they like him. And any Jewish person that votes for Zoran Mamdani, a proven self-professed Jew hater, is a stupid person. And now they're like in love with each other. This is wild, right? Hold on. Ugh, God, I hate Discord sometimes. Trump posted this collage of himself and Mamdani in front of FDR, apparently, and standing looking out over a meadow or something. So sweet.
I like that Trump posted just a picture of Mamdani on his Truth Social. This feels like a hard launch. This feels like a hard launch picture. You know, it's him and his boyfriend, them looking out across the meadow, and then just a picture of his boyfriend alone.
So stupid, dude.
This is really one-sided. Look at this. He's like holding on to him, like.
It's sweet, really, honestly.
Trump finally found love, but the person doesn't love him back.
Anyway, well, we don't know that. No.
That's true, we don't.
Anyway, just listen to this one.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, I care very deeply about Jewish safety, and I look forward to rooting out anti-Semitism across the 5 boroughs and protecting Jewish New Yorkers and every New Yorker who calls the City Hall.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's good. That's good, he whispers.
So after the meeting with Donald Trump, Mamdani does an interview on Meet the Press, and this woman on the right here is kind of considered a legitimate reporter, but she's kind of a scumbag, honestly, from what I've seen. Last time she interviewed him, she said, "Why won't you condemn the phrase globalize the intifada?" He never said that. Those words never crossed his lips. That was completely fabricated out of the ether. Why are you asking him to condemn something that he never said? That he even said, "I do not support that. I do not believe in that." Why do they keep coming back to it? It's purely propaganda. That's what it's about. And she fed into it, and that bothers me deeply. But anyway, listen to what happened on their interview here. She tries to create more division by leaning into trying to get him to turn on Trump and trying to get Trump to turn on him and everything else.
NYPD would be the ones to do so.
In that press conference with President Trump, a reporter asked you whether you believe that President Trump is in fact a fascist, a word that you've used in the past. You were about to answer, then President Trump sort of jumped in and he said, quote, "That's okay, you can just say yes. It's easier than explaining it." So, Mr. Mayor-elect, just to be very clear, do you think that President Trump is a fascist?
And after
I'm sorry, why is she even asking this? Obviously he does, but okay.
But outside of that, look at how he's smiling. You see him smiling? This is after he's not alone with Trump anymore. Is my camera on?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I heard something. He's not alone with Trump anymore. He's smiling so wide. Compare that to what we saw a minute ago. He was so straight-faced. He was not happy to be there.
Jesus Christ, a cat just jumped up here and failed to jump successfully.
But she's so cute.
And then dug her claws into the arm of the chair
Okay.
and clawed her way up the chair, destroying it in the process.
That sounds like your fault.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, keep listening here.
And after President Trump said that, I said yes. And
so you do.
And that's something that I've said in the past. I say it today. And I think what I appreciated about the conversation that I had with the president was that we were not shy about the places of disagreement, about the politics that has brought us to this moment. And we also wanted to focus on what it could look like to deliver on a shared analysis of an affordability crisis for New Yorkers.
You've also said in the past that President Trump has engaged in a, quote, attack on our democracy. You've called him a despot. Do you still believe President Trump is a threat to the democracy?
He absolutely is, obviously.
Everything that I've said in the past, I continue to believe. And that's the thing that I think is important in our politics, is that we don't shy away from where we have disagreements, but we understand what it is that brings us to that table. Because I'm not coming into the Oval Office to make a point or make a stand. I'm coming in there to deliver for New Yorkers. And a few weeks ago, I was asked by a reporter 3 words to describe myself. I said, New York City. And that's what animated that conversation. How do we deliver for the people of New York City?
I think it was really interesting when he was in his debate up there, and he was debating with 3 people, and I think, or 2 others maybe.
Yeah, 2 others.
And they all were all asked, where is the first place you would visit when you become mayor? And Andrew Cuomo said, I would visit Israel first. And I think Sliwa also said, I would visit Israel. And Mamdani said, I'm happy here. I'm here to help New Yorkers. I wouldn't be going to Israel. Why would I do that when I'm not serving them?
Yeah, Israel isn't involved in New York politics.
Hold on. Am I still streaming? It says I'm still
It's
streaming,
still on
but
here.
it disappeared for... It says it disappeared.
Here, I'll refresh.
No, okay, we're back. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was buffering for a second.
Yeah, we're good.
But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Eric Adams, you were saying something. What was it?
Israel's not involved in the politics of New York City at all. And
Shouldn't be.
New York City politicians aren't involved in Israel at all. It's any involvement that the United States has in Israel is from Trump, from the executive, the judicial, and
Legislative.
yeah, the legislative branch.
But
none of it is New York based, and therefore there's no reason for them to be going to Israel.
there are a lot of Jewish people in New York City. It's like 50% Jewish or whatever, but that doesn't mean Israeli. That means Jewish. And there's in World War II, they tried to turn it into a race when it's not. Race isn't even real in the first place. It's fictitious completely. There are ethnicities, but Ashkenazi Jewish and Mizrahi Jewish are ethnicities that are completely different from each other. Like, I have more in common with an Ashkenazi Jewish person than an Ashkenazi person has in common with a Mizrahi person. It's a religion, not a race. And the idea that we should care about Israel if we are like New York City politicians is absurd. We should care about Jewish people as an ethnic group, as a minority group. We should not care about Israel at all. Anyway, there was something else I was going to say about that. Oh, Eric Adams, on his way out the door, I wish I had this video. I don't think I have it. Let me pull up the twit. I have to pull it up on a different screen
tab,
just
yeah.
in case, because, yeah.
Even with a lot of Jewish people in New York City,
Found it. Go on.
Judaism could be a race, but even then, we shouldn't be focusing on what's going on outside of the United States, outside of New York City. Focus on all of the hate and backlash and hate crimes that have been happening against Jewish people in New York City. I had friends in New York when the war first started who were terrified to walk out of their house. They were scared to go to school because of everything going on. Focus on that. Don't go to a different country when you're supposed to be leading a city.
Right. And here's Eric Adams, who the current mayor for another month or two, who went to Israel just the other day. This is recent. He went to Israel to show his support. Listen to what he said.
My male team here in Israel, and as I finish, I wanted to come back here to Israel and let you know that I serve you as the mayor.
I served you imagine a politician going to Russia, to the Kremlin, and standing there and saying, I want you to know I served you, Russia, as the mayor of New York City. Really think about that for a second. What an absolutely wild thing for the mayor of New York City to say.
Eric Adams went to my high school when I was still in New York, and when our assembly ended, first of all, people left early because the assembly went on way longer than our school's time lets out. Second, when the assembly ended, every single conversation I heard around me was how much they hate Eric Adams and how they did not want him there.
He ran as a Democrat, but he's not at all. He's a Christian nationalist and a right-wing extremist. The only reason he ran as a Democrat is because that's the only way he could have won. He's a disgusting human being, seriously. Eric Adams is absolutely awful.
As the mayor, but I want to continue to have the title that's more important to me than anything. I'm your brother. Thank you.
Anyway, yeah. It's so confusing to me why a mayor of New York City would consider himself a servant of Israel. Like, what a thing to say. Anyway, let's finish up this interview after he left Trump's office.
I think that some of your supporters would be curious to know. You say you stand by your past statements that, yes, he's a threat to the democracy. How do you square working with someone who you still think is a threat to the democracy?
I believe it's a phenomenally good thing. You should absolutely be able to work with everybody, every single person, and political ideology getting in the way of working with somebody is not productive or conducive to a democracy, right?
I think working for the people of New York City demands that you work with everyone and anyone, and that you always look to find those areas of agreement while not overlooking the places of disagreement. And I think this was something that came up in our meeting. We spoke about immigration. We spoke about the fact that in New York City, we have sanctuary city policies that allow for the city to work with the federal government on around 170 serious crimes. The concern for so many New Yorkers comes about anything beyond that. And I spoke about the importance of us being able to protect New Yorkers, and some of the incidents that we see, they do not do that.
You raised.
So anyway, I just like this guy a lot. Like, I feel like he's very capable, and honestly, like, I don't know. He's just very impressive, very charming, very impressive, very good at what he does, and I have high hopes for him. And I have high hopes for the fact that he is the face of the Democratic Party right now.
He's also... No, go ahead.
Gavin Newsom was the face, and it is in large part, and probably will run for president. Mamdani can't, of course. There are some other faces of the Democratic Party, but Mamdani is at the top of his game and untouchable, and it's really impressive.
He's also very attractive, which does genuinely help.
Pretty privilege, yeah.
Yeah, people are more likely to vote for someone. And this was the case. I don't remember which presidential race it was, but this was the case at some point.
JFK.
Yeah,
probably.
JFK versus who?
He was running against Nixon, I think.
People are far more likely to vote for someone they deem more attractive. And we've seen that in the past with, I think,
I'm sorry.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
No, Lyndon B. Johnson was his VP. He did run against Richard Nixon. Wait. And his running mate, LBJ, narrowly defeated the Republican ticket of Richard Nixon. Yes, that was correct.
And this happened because people were more likely, like, people were showing that they were going to vote for Nixon all the way up until they saw each of the candidates on live TV. And when they saw each of the candidates on live TV, they changed their votes.
I remember that, yeah. And also, this is when Fox News really started. Well, Sheldon Adelson, I believe, who started Fox News. It was either him or Roger Ailes. One of the two started it. I think Adelson. And Nixon was disgruntled at television and said it's stupid and it's a fad and it's going to go away. And the other guy, whoever started Fox News, was like, no, this is the future. This is how we're going to take everything over. And he started Fox News, and it was all over from there. God, what? Reagan got rid of the fairness doctrine, which meant you didn't have to give equal time to different candidates. Now you can talk positively about either candidate as much as you want. You can lie as much as you want, and you're completely untouchable. And that just destroyed our democracy completely. Like, nearly every bad thing that exists as a policy in this country can be traced back to Reagan. He really made a mess of everything. Anyway, I'm so glad to see that we have a really good head of the Democratic Party, and I'm excited to see where the dude goes from here. Tell me what you think in the comments. All right. Let's see. So that was 124. Let me just write my timestamps down here.
Someone said his wife is more attractive. I assume you mean Mamdani's wife. Mamdani's wife is very attractive. She's very pretty. But I think Mamdani is also very attractive, like objectively.
Let's see.
Someone said it's like with Nixon and JFK. JFK was a very attractive man compared to Nixon at the time.
Nixon's awful. Yeah, he's so ugly.
It sounds like you're trying to hide something there. Compared to Nixon at the time, you mean?
Have you seen Nixon? Do you know what he looks like?
Yeah.
He's just horrifying.
Also in the
Oh no, I forgot to cover the Arabic numerals thing. We need to talk about that before we fully wrap it up.
Okay.
And I should move it closer to the beginning of the video too. But where did the Arabic numerals thing go? I had it. Oh, here. Okay. One more thing. All right, let me say it again because I want to move the Arabic numerals bit to the beginning or to the early part. Mamdani, fascinatingly, maybe after the fascist video, Mamdani has been accused of trying to get Arabic numerals into public schools in New York City. And of course, Arabic numerals are the numerals we use. They're like the number system. Our counting system are Arabic numerals. And it's kind of a worldwide thing. We all use Arabic numerals pretty much. Fact check, is Mamdani introducing Arabic numerals to New York schools? It got so big that they had to fact check it. Seriously.
I will say, I'm on TikTok, I'm on social media. It started out as a joke in a comment section, and then it spread to people copy and pasting it into every video about Mamdani. Again, as a joke in a comment section. And from there, Republicans started to believe it, or MAGA specifically, started to believe it without, fact checking what it actually means.
Without having any idea.
Yeah, without knowing what Arabic numerals even look like, obviously. And from there, I'd say it's kind of become a reason why MAGA is like a laughingstock on TikTok.
I swear to God, they're the stupidest people on planet Earth. Some of these guys, really. Anyway, maybe it's more accurate to say they're the most gullible people on planet Earth. They're willing to believe anything. A claim circulating on social media alleging that New York Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani is pushing legislation to require the use of Arabic numerals in the state's public schools has raised a few eyebrows online. Newsweek has contacted representatives of Mamdani for comment via email outside of regular working hours. Okay, I'm not sure why you would put that caveat outside of regular working hours.
Maybe he didn't respond to them and they were trying to...
No, I suppose. They didn't say he didn't respond, though, did they? Posts circulating on social media claim Mamdani is expected to introduce new rules when he becomes New York mayor in 2026 that will require all public elementary schools in the state to learn Arabic numerals.
In the state?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Wow.
In the state.
Impressive.
Apparently, he's not just the mayor of New York City, but he's the mayor of New York State, I guess.
I didn't know that he could do that, but you know what? I'm proud of him.
Okay. It appears to stem from a misunderstanding or a deliberate attempt to provoke controversy or generate ridicule.
It was a joke.
It starts as a joke, but I believe that this stuff spreads maliciously. I think it spreads maliciously. I think they do it on purpose, some of these people. Like Brendan Dilley, he spreads lies like this all the time intentionally, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. We'll finish this first. Hang on. Deliberately attempt to provoke controversy or generate ridicule by using a term that some readers may find unfamiliar, even though it refers to the numbers Americans already use, but some social media users may have taken it seriously. Breaking, Zoran Mamdani is expected to require all New York elementary school students to learn Arabic numerals. One post on X from a member of West Virginia House of Delegates, Derek Evans, read, "Oh my God, he is awful. I know that guy." Evans is also part of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The post has over 300,000 views as of Thursday morning. You know what? I'm going to make this its own separate video. Let's make this its own separate video because there's a lot I want to cover anyway, just for editing purposes.
Someone said, what's next to hydrogen monoxide?
Yes.
Guys, he's forcing New York citizens to drink dihydrogen monoxide.
Forcing them to. Like,
Forcing,
they don't have a choice or they die.
Mamdani, they don't have a choice or they do. Okay.
Yes.
Mamdani actually goes into your house. If you live in New York, I experienced this before he was even mayor, before he was even running. He goes into your house if you live in New York and like forces your mouth open and pours dihydrogen monoxide into your mouth. He did it to my friend last night. Yeah, while we were on call, and just poured it straight into my friend's mouth. It was
Personally
terrible.
showed up there.
Yeah,
It's really
personally.
messed up, honestly.
He doesn't even shake your
Unacceptable.
hand. Doesn't even shake your hand before he does it.
It's the kind of thing I'd expect from somebody who is trying to put Arabic numerals in schools.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes complete sense.
Nope, I'm sorry. I'm looking for...
Friend hadn't had dihydrogen monoxide in like 2.5 days, so he just showed up and did it.
Let me find a
Offense.
Filling everyone's water pipes with dihydrogen monoxide.
Yeah, here. All right. I want to cover this in a second.
Can someone who lives in New York confirm what I just said? What will Mom Donnie do when Dad Donnie walks in? Okay. You still live in NYC, and no, we do not. Unfortunately,
Okay,
because
so,
of him.
So we'll talk about Derek Evans in a minute, and we'll talk about intentional lies in a second too, but let's just finish reading this real quick. Another post from betting market company Polymarket read, breaking Zohran Mamdani to require all New York elementary school students to learn Arabic numerals. The post has almost 14 million views. The claim caused a stir online, with some ex-users condemning Mamdani. How stupid is that? It comes after Mamdani released an ad spoken entirely in Arabic at the beginning of November. All right, so this is the strategy. This is Brendan Dilley. He is part of Trump's quote-unquote meme team, an unofficial meme team who pumps out memes on Trump's behalf that are just lies and twisting things around. It's all intentional. Whatever they can do to muddy the waters, confuse people, and make people side with Trump by any means necessary.
Trump 2020. What's our strategy, guys? First rule of Trump 2020. Controlling the media. How do we do it? It doesn't have to be true. It just has to go viral. We're destroying them at their own game.
Who is they, first of all? And second, what Democrat do you think is like lying and spreading these lies intentionally like this? This is delusion.
Like, Dilly, where did you hear about that? I don't know. I made that up. You're a liar? For now.
So the point is, this is the strategy. You said you don't know if it was intentional. It started as a joke. People like him are turning it into reality intentionally.
It started as a joke because it was idiotic. Because obviously we use Arabic numerals. So the entire thing was a joke. And people were spreading it as a joke because it's so obviously fake, but sounds like, if you're just uneducated enough, it sounds true. Is that an edited picture of Trump and Charlie Kirk hugging? Or is that a real picture of Charlie Kirk and Trump hugging? You missed it. It was there, though, I swear. This is the West Virginia dude? Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I'm just looking for...
Oh.
One sec. I'm just...
So wait, I just looked it up. Arabic numerals are just literally numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. That's
correct,
what it is.
yes.
As opposed to Roman numerals, which is what you just said, yeah. I noticed that you went 0 through 9 with Arabic, but you went 1 through 10 with Roman.
Okay, I can't find what I was looking for, but Derek Evans, if you're unfamiliar, they mentioned him a minute ago. He was a January 6th rioter, spent time in prison, got out, and ran for Congress in West Virginia and won. And he also famously posted this picture of his of his Christmas ornaments. Nancy Pelosi, I think Biden, Anthony Fauci, Hillary, and Obama hanging from nooses as Christmas ornaments. How vile is that? That's disgusting, right? And on top of that, when Charlie Kirk died, he got on there and had the gall to say, the left is violent, they're encouraging violence, and it's evil, and we need to stop this, and blah, 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 with this picture floating around. He's a vile, evil human being, seriously. Like, I don't know what is wrong with him. And fascinatingly, his grandmother responded to his January 6th treatment, quote unquote, after he got out of, immediately after January 6th. This is January 9th, 2021 when this came out, when she released this. They're taking him away right now. This is his arrest. And he's in Congress now.
Anything you want to say on his behalf?
He's a fine man.
No, he's not. He's an insurrectionist and a piece of shit. And he needs to spend the rest of his life in prison.
January 6th was treason. It was an act of treason. And there's
100%.
no other way to view it. But people like this, like his apparent grandma, and people like MAGA specifically, don't care.
They're not patriots.
And they put people who committed acts of treason into Congress.
They're not patriots. They pretend to be. They're scumbags.
And thank you, Mr. Trump, for invoking a riot at the White House.
She blamed him at the time.
And you're his grandmother?
I'm his grandmother.
This is literally on him. How can you possibly blame anybody but Derek Evans for his stupid actions? Trump is to blame, of course, for his own actions, but Derek Evans chose to be there.
Reporter did a good job at stopping her from like covering his stuff, though. She came up, took off her coat, and held it up so that she could throw it onto the camera so that he couldn't record.
That's what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, and then he went, "No, but wait, does he have anything that he wants to say?"
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it stopped her from, it made her less aggressive, made it seem like he's on her side, whether or not he actually is. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's it. They're taking him away.
Are there any police cars there? Oh,
yeah,
there's FBI.
Those are FBI vehicles, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I found this video when I was cleaning up my clip collection. Found it the other day. I thought it was a good opportunity. Point is that Derek Evans is an evil scumbag. That's the idea. Now, where did... Oh, right here. Now, let's just read a little bit more here. Arabic numerals are simply the digits 0 through 9, the standard number symbols used in math, banking, street signs, phone numbers, government forms, and every classroom in the United States. They're called Arabic numerals because the system was transmitted to Europe through medieval Arabic scholars, but they are universal and have been used in America, in American schools for centuries. Essential read convention? Okay. Given that, the claim about Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani introducing Arabic numerals to New York schools has no grounding in reality. There's been no proposal, no legislation, and no announcement from Mamdani related to numerals of any kind. Mamdani won the New York City mayoral race in a decisive upset, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who mounted an independent Trump-aligned bid, and Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa. His victory marked one of the most significant political shifts in the city in years, elevating a progressive state lawmaker from Queens to lead the nation's largest city. Mamdani is scheduled to take office on January 1st, 2026, becoming New York's first Muslim mayor. Anyway, yeah, Mamdani is a very impressive person. I'm really interested to see where he goes and what he does and how he handles everything. And Gavin Newsom, that's the name. Gavin Newsom was the mayor of San Francisco. I think he started out as the mayor of San Francisco until moving on to be governor of California. This is the start of something big and is only going to get bigger. At this point, establishment Democrat... Holy Christ on a cracker, dude, this cat. I'm sorry, cat. You cannot be up here right now. You're such a good kitty. Oh, you get so many pets. So many pets, but you have to get down. I'm sorry.
You're so evil.
Her mouth is wet because she just went and drank some water and then decided to come back and try again. Such a good kitty, but you can't be up here right now.
So
Anyway.
evil. What an evil man, guys.
I know. I feel bad. Anyway, I'll be interested to see where Zoran Mamdani goes. Gavin Newsom started as the mayor of San Francisco and moved on to be the governor of California. Disappointed that Mamdani can't run for president, but there are other slots that he can fill, and he can certainly heavily influence the party. And he's not 93 years old. That's awesome. He's my age, which makes me feel like I kind of dropped the ball a little bit.
Actually,
but,
he's 2 years younger than you.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
well,
only...
I really dropped the ball. Jeez. But yeah, tell me what you think about it in the comments. It's really interesting.
If I didn't already have train tickets and a plan to be in West Virginia for New Year's with my mom, I think I'd probably actually end up going to New York just to celebrate New Year's and then also the new mayor at midnight.
Yes.
But
okay, cool. So we've hit 4
genetically
stories.
modified skeptic is here.
What?
Genetically modified skeptic is in chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey, why did my wife send me a screenshot of you with the words on ding dongs? Oh, that's from last week. I'm not sure why. Here, I'll show you why. I'm not sure why that screenshot's coming up. Let me show you.
Why doesn't she jump on AF0? Because I kick her off. And I kick her off more often than he does. And also because I'm not usually in the common area where she can jump on me. So she's used to jumping
Here you
on
go.
me.
This is why. It was because I'm sure you saw the Trump stuff where, the blowing Bubba stuff or whatever. I found this clip of Alex Jones from 2024, January 2024, where it's a little too on the nose for me.
There's no
Oh, sorry, that's loud.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding dong.
That's an oddly specific thing for him to have said 2 years ago.
And so what if there was? That's a lot better than World War III, Owen.
He's defending this, getting a jump on it. He knew Trump was in the Epstein files.
Being gay is better than World War III. I mean, yeah, I agree.
Totally.
You guys live in West Virginia? No, not anymore.
I never sucked any ding dongs.
Are we sure?
But I'll tell you, if they were going to blackmail me to start World War III about one, I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. That's the origin of the ding dong. Last week's video was just titled "On Ding Dongs." Anyway, yeah, glad you made it. Thanks for coming. Hopefully that explains. There were some other videos I wanted to hit. What was it? I hit Marjorie Taylor Greene. I hit Mamdani. There was a Russian bots story I had considered covering. Also, Sean Foyt. I could hit him.
My mom lives in West Virginia, so I'm going to be there visiting her.
Oops.
I leave the morning after Christmas, like early morning, 6 a.m. I'm supposed to get on a train to Philadelphia, take another train to West Virginia, and it's a 12-hour train ride.
All right, let's watch this. This is Leo and Layla. Are you familiar?
Oh my God, yeah.
You do know Leo and Layla?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me just grab it.
This is what they replaced PBS Kids with. But they wanted to, right? They wanted to replace PBS
They certainly
Kids.
wanted to. I'm not sure if they managed to or not.
That
but
was their
let me
goal.
Just pull it up here. Yeah. All right. There's this quote unquote kids show called Leo and Layla. It's kind of like Caleb and Sophia, but for like right-wing nutcases. And this episode is titled Meet a Holocaust Survivor, Leo and Layla's History Adventures, PragerU Kids. And I happen to know a lot about World War II. And so I just kind of want to go through and see if they get anything right and if they get anything wrong. Let's give it a Holy Christ, dude, this cat.
You
You
want to put her
can't
on
be
my
up
lap?
here, cat.
If you pick her up and put her over here, I'll keep her.
It's okay. I don't want to get up because then I have to put the green screen down.
Right.
All right. Anyway, let's listen to this video here.
Before we start this episode, here's a quick preview of what's coming. Travel through time with Leo and...
No, thank you, madam. That's gonna be a pass for me. Wait, is this the opener?
Layla, why is your door closed? Is everything okay?
Not now, Leo.
Sorry, is there a door there? I see a vague resemblance of a white line at the bottom.
I think it's the monitor. It's the monitor. I gotta fix the coloration on it. My monitor can see it.
It looks so much better over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, you can't see on my screen. There is no door. It is a white wall. It's like the entire screen is bright white for me.
It's pretty bad.
I need some space.
Come on, sis. You can tell me.
All right. Someone broke into my friend Hannah's locker and drew a swastika. When we found it, she got so upset she almost cried. I've never seen her so shocked and hurt.
PragerU was created by Dennis Prager, who, by the way, I don't know if you guys knew this, he fell in the shower a year ago after Trump won and is paralyzed from the neck down now. Did you know?
I didn't.
Yeah. Prager, Dennis Prager, paralyzed from the neck down. He's a Christian nationalist and also Jewish, bizarrely.
Swastika? You mean that evil sign the Nazis wore on their uniforms? That's terrible. But why would a drawing make her cry?
Hannah's Jewish, Leo. Her great-grandparents had to leave Germany when the Nazis came to power. They barely escaped the Holocaust.
Whoa, that makes more sense. But still, it's just a drawing, right?
That's what I thought.
Not really. The drawing has specific, meaning. The issue isn't that someone drew it, it's that someone wants her dead.
Specific meaning and connotations, yeah. Of course, I find it interesting that, these people regularly argue from a free speech perspective, quote unquote, that you should be able to put anything anywhere, including swastikas. You should be allowed to say the N-word or whatever. And of course, I agree you shouldn't be arrested for saying something like that or whatever. But why are you arguing that? Why is this the thing the hill you want to die on when no one is being arrested for this?
I was gonna say, it is just a drawing in the same way the N-word is just a word, but it's bad because people were killed over it. Killed because of that. People suffered a lot, and the connotations of the word and of the drawing have much more meaning than the fact that they are words or drawings.
And these people...
And, yeah, they're gonna completely miss that point and ignore that point.
Being Jewish, I bet they're gonna take a correct position for the most part, but Leo and Layla tend to twist and distort reality, and sometimes it's very, very subtle if you don't know the actual history really well. But I do know the history of this really well, so we'll see.
Someone said actually it was a Chinese good luck symbol before Germany stole it. Germany's is slightly different. In China, it's a line, a line, a line, a line. For the swastika, it's diagonal, pretty much. So they are visually slightly different, but yeah, Germany did take that.
Germany took it from the Indo-Iranian region, not from China. They took it from old stories, basically the Indian area. There were old stories, epic poems, we have the Epic of Gilgamesh or the Odyssey and the Iliad. Well, they had a different set of stories in that region, the Indo-Iranian region, where they told stories about epic heroes they called Aryans. And the Nazis became completely obsessed with the epic stories and believed that they were the first blonde, blue-eyed people on planet Earth and everything, the whole thing. But that's where the swastika came from. It was from the Indo-Iranian region specifically. I mean, the German swastika, not from China. But yeah.
Someone said Buddhist, I believe, certainly not Chinese only, yeah.
Kat, please, my God.
I believe it was, what he just said pretty much.
When I saw Hannah was upset, I tried to calm her down. I told her whoever drew it was just being dumb and to not worry about it. But then she wouldn't talk to me. She even looked scared. I feel like I should have done something different, but I'm not sure what.
This might be a good time for us to learn more about what happened during the Holocaust.
Good point. Maybe we'll understand more why Hannah got so upset.
Oh yeah, they have a time machine button thingy, if you couldn't tell. 2004. Jerusalem 2004. For an audio audience, that's where they are.
Where are we?
It doesn't look like we went back in time.
Yeah, this place looks like a spaceship, but I think it's a museum. Look at all those old pictures.
Shalom, children. What brings you to the Hall of Names?
The Hall of Names?
That's right. You're at Yad Vashem, Israel's memorial to the victims of the Holocaust.
Yeah, they actually have, I think, 4.3 million names, specifically of Jewish victims. And as we know, there were about 6 million victims. So that's pretty impressive. They're getting there. They're almost there.
Or as we say in Hebrew, the Shoah. This room holds the names and stories of Jews who were murdered by the Nazis. It's our way of remembering and honoring the Holocaust's 6 million victims.
6 million? I knew that Jewish people were murdered. I just never realized it was that many.
Yeah, they're zeroing in on the number because this is a popular point of contention with white supremacists claiming that it wasn't 6 million, that it was like 100,000 really in their minds. And this is just, they were just like, everybody died on all sides. It was just a normal number of people that died. They weren't targeted or, it's just delusion.
But these kids are like, oh, wow, I didn't realize there was that many. People died, and you accept the fact that they died because they were Jewish. If you can accept the fact that someone died because of their belief system, you're wrong. You are just objectively wrong if you can say, oh, it's not that big of a deal.
Sorry, I'm Layla, and this is my brother Leo. Maybe you can help us. It sounds like you know all about this place.
I should. My name is Miriam, and I'm a tour guide here at Yad Vashem. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
So, do all of these pictures show somebody who died in the Holocaust?
They do. We've spent years collecting pictures and testimonies from the victims' families. When another story comes in, we record it so it won't be forgotten.
Yeah, I believe it's the world's largest database of names, stories, and pictures. But it doesn't include non-Jews. It's specifically for Jews only.
But that's so many people. Did the Nazis really kill all of them?
They did, and many more than what you see here.
That's terrible. How can such an enormous, evil thing like the Holocaust even happen?
It started when a terrible, hateful man came to power.
I find it so fascinating that they aren't connecting the dots, that Donald Trump or somebody in the White House is reading a history book and following it word for word. Seriously. Like, somebody over there is looking at how Hitler rose to power, retained power, and crushed dissent, and they're copying it.
They said it started when a terrible evil man rose to power. It started before Hitler gained power. It started when he was attempting to gain power.
Yeah, the NSDAP, the original name for the Nazi Party, started in, I think, 1921. And he took power, or maybe it started in 1918, and he took power in 1921, over like he was the chairman or whatever. And eventually changed the name, I think, in 2022 to the Nazi Party, basically. 23, he did an insurrection attempt, much like January 6th, started in a beer hall. They called it the beer hall putsch. He went to jail for, well, he was sentenced to 5 years, but he only served 9 months, out on good behavior. And he slowly eroded the culture from the time he got out onward. That's when he wrote Mein Kampf as well. He just slipped into, or he slipped racism and hate into the culture from the day he took power in the party all the way to the day he took power in the government in 1933.
Ivana used to say Trump kept Mein Kampf on his bedside. Yeah, I saw that.
I think she said he kept a book of Hitler's speeches on his bedside, yeah. And Ivana, yeah. That's the only hard part for me to believe is that he read. I can't believe that he would actually even have a book in his house.
Maybe someone read it to him. I'm sure he had a servant.
Could be. That's possible.
Read him a bedtime story every night. Maybe he made her read it to him every night.
Yes. DAP 1919. Yeah. Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, which means German Workers' Party. And then the NSDAP is the Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei.
If they have a time machine, why'd they go to a memorial decades after the fact? I don't think they have control over when they go.
Right. Yeah. I think they'll probably end up going back. Maybe not.
Probably not.
Hitler. After World War I, Germany was in terrible shape. Hitler said that we Jews were the problem and that we needed to be eliminated.
Actually, he did. Yes, absolutely. He called them aliens, said they don't belong there. That they
were foreigners, immigrants.
Foreigners, yes. That's what he said. He attacked immigrants in an identical way to how Trump attacks immigrants today. I can't stand that people overlook that in these types of videos. They were anti-immigrant.
He even wrote a book about it, Mein Kampf. After he took over Germany and then most of Europe, his Nazis started rounding up Jews and sending them to concentration camps.
Concentration camps? Why would they send you to a camp to concentrate?
No, my dear Leo. A concentration camp is a horrible place.
It's actually just a camp where people are concentrated in high numbers. That's it. The German concentration camps, of course, were death camps. Or some of them were. I think there were 6 death camps that were where most of the extermination happened. But the concentration camps were also work camps, not just the death camps. And the life expectancy for some of them was like 6 months. Others was 5 years. Some of them were less harsh than others, but you were still worked into the ground.
But they concentrate a specific group of people to do unspeakable things to them. The work is brutal, and the conditions are so terrible that many people die quickly. And that's the point. Have you heard of the word genocide?
I think so. It's really bad, right?
Very. Genocide is when a group of people tries to completely wipe out another group. People have been targets for genocide because of their race, their religion, or the country they live in. And the Nazis targeted us for simply being Jewish. Hitler wanted to exterminate every Jew in Europe, and he built these camps to do just that.
That's awful. I can't believe anyone would create a place like that.
Remember, it was on purpose. Killing all the Jewish people was always their goal. By the time we're...
Yeah, they're hitting all of the white nationalist talking points where, Nick Fuentes types of people will disagree with a lot of this, like what she just said.
All the Jewish people was always their goal.
That killing the Jewish people wasn't the goal. Nick Fuentes will say that kind of thing all the time. And this was produced 9 months ago. And that's around the time that Fuentes started getting popular. The neo-Nazi wing of the Republican Party started to kind of rise to power. So that's probably why they released this.
By the time World War II ended, over 6 million of us had perished. So many families were destroyed, including my own. But my sister and I were lucky. We survived.
You survived the Holocaust?
I did.
That's incredible. My friend Hannah's great-grandparents left Germany to escape the Nazis.
Ah, they were fortunate. So many were not. Would you like to hear my story?
Sorry, her friend's great-grandparents had to leave Germany to escape the Nazis, and she's wondering why the Nazi symbol made Hannah cry and why it made her sad.
Enough about this? Yeah.
Yes, we really would.
It's a tragedy I cannot forget. When the Nazis conquered my home country of Hungary, the soldiers in charge of my town made life hard for us.
I believe at the time it was actually Austria-Hungary. It was a single place with those two names. And it spoke German predominantly. And really, Austria should be part of Germany. Logically, they speak the same language and they're from the same region and everything else. But after World War II, or I'm sorry, maybe after World War I, it logically would have made sense and they wanted to rejoin and everything. But yeah, it was after World War II, I think. But the Allies didn't want them to get a win out of World War II, so they refused to allow them to join.
All of us lost our rights. We couldn't own a radio or a telephone, and we all had to wear a yellow star on our sleeve. At night, any Jews found outside their home were severely punished.
Oh, that's terrible. But why did they make you wear a yellow star?
That star was a way to separate us from everyone else. It was a way of encouraging others to treat us differently and even cruelly because of our race.
It's interesting to note the things that they pay attention to in this as well, and the things that they ignore, right? Like they're ignoring all of the underlying racism, all of the underlying anti-immigrant hate, and all of the religious encouragement, like all of the Christian support of Hitler, all of the nationalism and everything else. They're ignoring all of it.
Someone pointed out that it's the same language with with a strong difference in accents.
Yeah.
After we were forced to wear them.
That's true. And there are a couple of videos of Hitler talking with just a normal voice, like not yelling, because every time he gave a speech, he was always yelling, you know? And in the 2 or 3 videos that exist of him speaking just to another person, he has a strong a strong Austrian accent, impossible to miss. I think that's fascinating.
Because of our race. After we were forced to wear them, fewer and fewer people would do business with my father. Before long, that yellow star meant that we could not go to certain places or even own property.
It all sounds so awful. Did you try to escape?
A few people tried, but we thought they were overreacting. We'd heard rumors of much worse things happening to Jews in other towns, but we didn't think they were true.
Didn't any of your non-Jewish friends stand up for you?
Some did, but unfortunately not enough.
You know what she said a second ago? If you had gone back to 1890 and gone to different European countries, you would have thought that the Holocaust would have started in France rather than Germany. There's way more anti-Semitism in France before the actual Holocaust than there was in Germany. And they just weren't really safe in Europe at all, honestly.
You see, Leo, Hitler's views were so extreme that even people who opposed him didn't think he was serious. And by the time he was in power, many were too scared to act and looked the other way. He could have been stopped earlier, but he wasn't. Therein lies the tragedy.
Oh, so what happened next?
One day, my whole family was forced onto a train and taken to Auschwitz, the deadliest concentration camp. It took several days, and the train was so crowded we could not sit down. When we arrived, the guards separated us. My parents and my brother went one way, and my sister and I another.
When they got there, is that what she said?
Yeah.
It took several days, and the train was so crowded we could not sit down. When we arrived, the guards separated us. My parents and my brother went one way, and my sister and I another.
Yeah, when they got there, I have a picture that I want to show you guys, but when they got there, they separated people into those who could work and those who were too old to work or too young to work. Those who were not of working age or were disabled in any way at all were sent to the gas chambers, and those who were of working age were sent to do slave labor to keep the war effort going.
So if you got separated, you pretty much were never going to see anyone ever again.
Right.
Whoever you were separated from.
Yes. This happened to Elie Wiesel, who was a young boy, went to Auschwitz, and he was standing in line, and the guards, or some guy walked up to him and said, "Tell him you're 16." And he said, "What?" He said, "Tell him you're 16," and then just kept walking. And he told him he was 16, even though he was like 13 or something. And it saved his life. He and his dad went to the work camp, and his mom and sister, I believe, were killed. Never saw them again. But there's a picture I was looking for. Let me find it. Hold on. It's in my book project. It's in my book, my actual book on this. Was Hitler an Atheist? And I just want to pull it up real fast. Book covers. Where did my pictures go? I have a bunch of pictures that I pulled from old books that aren't even in print anymore. And the pictures that I put in there don't exist anywhere except for in my book, the book I pulled it from, and archives in Germany that the public can't access. Where the hell did it go? I can't find it. Assets? Is it in assets? Yes, here we go. Yes. I just want to show a couple of these interesting pictures that I have here. This is not Germany specifically. This is an 18-year-old prostitute in West Germany in 1991. And this is Katerina, I think is her name, and this is the same girl from inside an apartment. I'm just looking for the right picture here. This is a picture of what they called the Brown Synod. It was a It was basically a cathedral or a church full of brown shirts. It was basically the Proud Boys of the time. It was Hitler's Proud Boys. But the one I was looking for, where is it? Hold on. This is really slow to load for some reason. I'm sorry.
She said that people were, like, they didn't think that anyone was being serious. That's why no one stood up for them. They left out the fact that they could be killed for hiding anyone. And people gave away the fact that they were hiding Jewish people just to avoid a death sentence, just to avoid being treated the exact same way Jewish people were being treated.
Here you go. This is what I was looking for. This is 2 boys waiting in line to get on the train to go to Auschwitz. They had no idea what was coming. They had no idea.
They
what
have all their
happened
stuff
next.
packed. They're holding stuff.
Yep. It was pretty horrifying, honestly, the whole thing.
I
And
think that soon, if not now, we're going to get to the point where we have to be hiding people.
we're there.
Yeah.
We should be hiding immigrants right now.
There was a video of this lady. She had 2 gardeners working outside of her house, and ICE showed up. And she basically shooed ICE away, told them to get out, and as soon as they left, the gardeners started like freaking out, grabbing their stuff, saying, I have to get out of here, I have to get out of here. And she said, no, you 2 go wherever you need, and then made sure that ICE wasn't coming back for them. I think that that's what we have to be doing, if not keeping them inside of our house. There are people who work at my job who I assume that they have their papers because they work somewhere. They kind of have to if they're working. But I am 100% prepared to lie and hide them if ICE comes knocking at our job, like at our door.
It's horrifying that we found ourselves in this situation. And it's even more horrifying that PragerU sees how bad this was and is not connecting the dots. What happened?
Sister and I, another. That was the last time we were all together.
Do you know what happened to your family?
Crematorium, probably.
Several months later, I learned that my mother and my brother didn't survive.
I'm so sorry. How did you and your sister survive in such a horrible place?
Any way we could. Fortunately, our job was delivering messages.
Again, like the lifespan there was something like 16 months, I think. If you got to the work camp, if you got to the work camp, you'd probably make it about 16 months. It's either Auschwitz or maybe I'm thinking of Sachsenhausen, but one of them was 16 months.
But the living conditions were terrible. As the weeks went on, my sister grew pale and bony from not having enough to eat. When the guards marched us 30 miles to another camp, the journey was freezing.
Death march, probably. They would just force you to march, and anybody who fell was shot. They walked them to death. Although I think the survival rate was like 63% for death marches. That's still pretty low.
It was a miracle that I made it.
30 miles on an empty stomach? How did you keep going?
I kept going for my sister. When she became very sick, I was there to help her. And when I was sick, she helped me. Through it all, we stayed together. And that made all the difference. We were able to survive long enough to witness a miracle.
A miracle?
One day, we noticed the guards were not at their post. We went outside and saw American soldiers outside the camp. Suddenly, we were free. And
Okay, I don't think that was a miracle. I think that was sacrifice on countless people's parts to make it happen. And we should have deep reverence and respect for people who were willing to die to, help others. Absolutely. But I don't think we can attribute that to God.
a new chapter of my life began.
Wow. What happened next?
When the war ended, my sister and I returned to our hometown and found our father in a hospital. He had survived a different camp.
Wow, that's crazy.
And lived to tell.
I mean, is this even a real story? This could just be made
Probably
up.
not,
For the...
yeah.
I've never heard this story before. But, this is a common story, this kind of thing.
He had survived a different camp and lived to tell about it. We could only cry and praise God that we were together again.
Now I'm gonna cry. You must have been so relieved to find him and have such a terrible time in your life behind you.
Indeed, I was. As a young woman, I started my new life in America. I loved the United States so much for giving me that life.
Well, they didn't like you at the time.
Yeah, someone pointed out that's American exceptionalism.
Yes, and also America turned away freighters full of Jews on multiple occasions, specifically this one very famous occasion. This is why we have the amnesty laws that we have in the first place. If somebody is facing persecution in another country, they can come over the border and make it to the nearest amnesty, like UN refugee center, and apply for asylum. I'm sorry, I meant asylum, not amnesty. This is why we have asylum laws like we have. If someone's being persecuted in another country, they can come over the border and go to the nearest refugee center and apply for asylum. And their case will be adjudicated, determined if they really are facing persecution. And if they are, they're allowed to stay here. And while the process plays out, they're allowed to stay until a determination is made. That's why there is a hole in the border in the first place, because it's a humanitarian corridor for people who are suffering this type of thing to come through. That's why we have these laws, because that ship was turned around and sent back to Europe, where all of the people were put into concentration camps and killed. All of them, pretty much. And we're erasing that whole underpinning, that whole moral reasoning that we had for protecting people is being eliminated. So, like, she's saying America is the best place and they helped me and all of that. That is not true. That is not how it happened. That is not reality. And Prager is supporting the administration, the movement that is erasing people like her's ability to survive these types of situations in the first place. It's disgusting.
Giving me that life. And once a year, I visit this museum in Israel to pay respect to those who perished.
It's so brave of you to share such a painful story.
Wait, once a year she visits this place, but she's a tour guide here? Didn't she say she lived in America, but she's a tour guide here? That doesn't make any sense.
Thank you, Layla. And it wasn't easy to start telling it. For most of my life, I didn't even want to talk about what happened. But before my sister passed away, she encouraged me to tell our story. What happened, she said, happened because nobody fought back. Our story must be told so people will fight next time. She's right, I thought.
It's crazy that they're saying this, knowing that they're so pro-Trump.
Yep.
They make this story and talk about it, and then look around at America and look around at what we're doing to people. And they say, but it's different though. Oh, but they're immigrants, but they're aliens, as if that's not exactly what Hitler said.
Word for word. He called them cockroaches, he called them vermin, and he called them immigrants. Even though they had been there for hundreds of years, they were not immigrants. He called them immigrants.
Every generation faces great evil, but if good people stay silent or forget, then the unprotected will suffer.
Hello? Is this not connecting? Really? You got gummy bears in your ears? You're not seeing what's happening around you?
Forget, then the unprotected will suffer again, and everything we do here will be in vain.
What are you thinking, Layla?
I'm thinking we should head back now. I have a friend that I need to speak up for. Miriam, thank you so much again for sharing your story with us.
It is my honor and duty, children. And if you should ever return here, more names and stories of the Shoah will be here waiting for you.
I really hope we can. It's so important to remember.
I agree.
Good. When people like you take my Holocaust story to heart, evil does not stand a chance.
If you really want to read a good one, Elie Wiesel's story is great. And Anne Frank's story is really good. Anne Frank was living in basically like a part of an office. It was like what do you call it? An annex. Yes, it was an annex in an office where a big shelf was placed in front of the entrance to it, and they didn't leave the room for like 2 years or something. And somebody reported them. The people showed up, the Gestapo showed up, grabbed them, and took them off to a... What are you doing over there?
Sorry.
Quit it.
What's this?
Somebody reported them and took them off to Auschwitz, I think. And I believe that Anne Frank died like 2 months before it was liberated or something like that. Her dad survived and found her journals there and published them. It was a really interesting read. Have you ever read it?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty crazy.
I've wanted to, but I haven't.
Be courageous, not silent.
We promise, Miriam. Goodbye.
I'm really glad you spoke out, Layla. I wanted to tell the principal about that ugly swastika, but when I saw it, I just froze. It was like all the stories of my great-grandparents suddenly became real.
Hannah, I should have stood up for you right away. I saw how scared you were, but I didn't understand how much of a big deal it really was. Then a friend showed me what really happened during the Holocaust and what happens when you don't stand up against things you know are wrong. I'm so sorry I let you down.
Like, I don't understand how they can have such strong cognitive dissonance where they can support what's happening under Trump, cheer for it, like, elect him again, write propaganda films on his behalf, and then say this stuff. It's mind-boggling.
It's okay. I forgive you. And if you hadn't spoken up, we might not have had that school assembly about it. I think that really helped. We need to keep reminding everyone about what happened. How hate and racism
Bro, she's got a weird face.
nearly destroyed my people during the Holocaust.
We won't let people forget. If we tell everyone we can, maybe we can stop things like this from ever happening again.
Hello? Again, I say, what is going on? How are you missing this? It is literally happening. Not the Holocaust where they're murdering people en masse, but Alligator Alcatraz, the reports coming out of there are horrifying. People literally being served food with worms in it, maggots. People being forced to eat and drink off the ground with their hands tied behind their back or handcuffed behind their back like a dog. And that specific tactic is from China during the Korean War. People who were captured as prisoners of war were subjected to mind control experiments where that kind of thing happened to them, forced to eat off the ground like a dog. And now they're doing that in Alligator Alcatraz, or they were just a month ago or 2 months ago, whenever.
The Holocaust isn't happening, but the beginning points, everything that led up to the Holocaust is happening.
Yeah.
And they
identically.
And they ignore it purposefully.
Hitler actually, sorry, until 1937 or somewhere in there, Hitler was trying to get them out. He wanted them out of Europe. He wanted them out of Germany. And even made a deal with Zionists in, I'm not saying Zionist as an insult. I'm saying that's what they call themselves, Zionists, in the Middle East. He made a deal where they could keep most of their stuff if they just left and went to the Palestine region. But there came a day in 37, I think maybe, where he locked the doors and everybody was trapped. They couldn't leave anymore. And he started shipping them off to concentration camps. So right now we're somewhere in 33, 34, in that vicinity.
Thank you, Layla, for being brave, for sticking up for me. You're a true friend.
I always will, Hannah. I promise.
Is that the end?
If you liked time traveling with Leo and Layla, watch more of their adventure.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of American exceptionalism in there. And there was also a heavy focus on the evils of racism against Jews, but completely ignored large swaths of the issue of what happened at the time and why it was a problem in the first place. Overall, I think it was one of their less bad episodes, but it was still complete BS. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. Let's see. That was 2:20.
I'm going to get off here.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me. It's been fun. I wish I could spend more time, but I had to stream earlier, so I didn't have the time to, prep properly. But meet me on my Unfiltered channel on Wednesday, and we'll do more stuff. All right? All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'll see you next time.
Bye.